Oh, thank you. Hello. Hi. If you can hear us, will you give us a thumbs up? We can hear you. We got you. Want to make sure our Wi-Fi is pretty slow. Okay. I have not heard anything. If you can hear us, will you give us a thumbs up? We can hear you. Okay. I got it. Okay. We're good to go.
Welcome, everybody. We have how many people already?
We have about 24 people watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Let us know you're here.
That is already our most watched YouTube live right there.
Okay. If you are new to our channel or don't know who we are The Wandering Naps. I'm Jolene.
And I'm Chris.
And we have 3 little boys that are downstairs getting ready for bed and eating dinner.
They're not getting ready for bed. They're playing tech because it's convenient for us.
So thank you for being here. First thing, we want to say thank you to Steve and Rachel Smith.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. They are our moderators tonight. They are friends of ours, and they have their own YouTube channel, The Adventures of Mr. and Mrs. Smith
Company.
And if you want to follow them, they'll be in the chat moderating. So remember, it's a family channel. So be nice and polite.
That's right.
And also, if you're here, will you please let us know that you're here? So hi, Roy. Thank you for watching. Thank you. We got our dock lines yesterday. Thank you to our neighbors. Hey, boat neighbors. Our boat neighbors are watching. Hi to our family who's here.
I saw you, Mom and Dad.
Chris's parents are here. We're not just being weird saying Mom and Dad. Hi, Millers, Charles. How are you? Hey, Team Whiff. How are you? We missed you at 3D Boatyard. MV Living the Dream. How are you? How's New York? I saw some people from Florida were here too. So we just want to say thank you. Hey, Outdoors fam. It is good to see you, not just on Instagram, but actually live here. So go ahead.
All right. Update. We last left you in the berries. You got to remember our YouTube stuff is about 2 to 3 weeks behind, right? Mm-hmm. So we left you guys with a generator issue, and I wasn't quite sure what was going on. Dirty fuel was an assumption. Some sort of a lack of fuel wasn't getting to the engine properly. It's a diesel engine. You've got fuel, you've got air. If you've got those 2 things, it should run. There are sensors and whatnot. What was really throwing me for the loop was it wasn't dying. It would run and pitter, 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 and it'd run at like 300 RPM and just lug along with no load. And so, again, I love the comments on the video. Thank you so much for all that support and help. I've got multiple numbers for multiple mechanics now that I can call for help. Mm-hmm. Again, our videos are, that was us in the moment. I did take the time to go through a diagnostic as best I could, limited tools, limited supplies, that kind of thing. And I had narrowed it down to it was either something, everything was good other than I couldn't really test the fuel injection pump, and I thought there was maybe an injector issue. I was able to find a way to test the injectors, shade tree mechanic wise, right? I grabbed a screwdriver, put it against the injector and listened to it, and it was never done that before. I was pretty confident there were 2 of them that were bad. What's up?
Sorry, I'm fixing the video.
Fixing the video?
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, real quick. I'm sorry. Our internet is very slow here. Our Wi-Fi is terrible because we are in the Bahamas. If it does cut off, we have a backup video that we will post.
We're going to go for it and just hang out there with us. Hopefully it'll come through. And then the other thing I did was you were able to feel the temperatures of the exhaust manifold to see which ones are hot and which ones are not. If the ones that are, like our number 2 cylinder was hot, like I couldn't touch it all. Number 1, number 3 were warm, but I could hold on to them for a long time, no problem. And so I determined that I must have had 1 and 3 cylinder, the injector was bad. I ordered those injectors. Believe it or not, they got here last night. So I was able to...
On Thanksgiving,
they showed up.
Our parts.
So we were able to, this morning, my morning project was to install that. And we put them in. One injector had all kinds of diesel in the bottom of it. Like you could tell it was very obviously bad. And we thought that was bad based on the, what do you call it? The way it bled, it was different than the others. It would shoot fluid. And anyway, the other injector looked okay, but I went ahead and replaced both of them, put it all back together, fired it up. After I bled the lines, fired it up. Man, it started right up. We were so excited. We thought we'd fix the problem. 3-4 minutes later.
So yeah, today we were like, the generator started, throw on an AC, test it, everything. No. We were on cloud 9.
Yeah, no, it didn't last.
5 minutes later.
So I was frustrated. I'll get so frustrated. Went for a walk, just clear my head.
Came up with, on our walk, we're coming up with plan B, C, D, E. Like, what do we do if we can't fix this generator? Yeah. What do we do? What do we do?
What's our plan?
What do we say on YouTube tonight when we're like, no, we still not fixed?
And for those of you that are mechanical, like myself, it frustrates the bejesus out of you to know that there's only so many things it can be. I have to figure it out. So that was bothering me. So luckily, we have Craig and Phyllis.
Our boat neighbors.
Our boat neighbors that we said hi to earlier. They're literally one slip that way.
Hey, guys.
No response. No response. They're from Canada, and they just purchased a trawler next door down here, and are kind of going through their own stuff. So I've been helping him with some stuff. He came over. He's a mechanic by trade. Just started talking.
He knew we were frustrated and it didn't work, and Chris was like, just give us
the Muskogonauts. You got to say it with a Canadian accent. Muskogonauts cruising.
So I was like, just turn it on. Let him listen to it. Let's see what it does.
And we're sitting there, and this is the difference between trying to get help over the phone versus, and I see some of you guys are having trouble with the video. That's probably us on our end. It is us. Hang out with us. Thank you. We appreciate it. So I just, over the phone, it's tough to have, or over message, chat, to have someone help you because they're not there. So Craig's sitting there, and we're going through the different things, and then he literally just looks down and he goes, "What is that?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Follow your fuel line to your fuel pump." I said, "Okay. What's that little canister right there?" "I don't know. It's always been there. I've never really thought about it. It's not in the book anywhere. It's not a fuel filter that I know of that's because the fuel filter's up here and back there. And so I don't really know." And he goes, "That looks like a fuel filter to me, an old one that he'd seen on like carbureted engines and whatnot." He goes, "Take it off." So I went down and took it off. Bypassed it. And this is the little guy right here. So he goes, "Blow through it." So I took it and I blew through one end, nothing. Blew through the other ends, nothing. Couldn't get anything to come through this. Whatever this is, whether it be a fuel filter or a valve, I forget the name of the valves, we're to let fluid through one way but not the other. Anyway, it wasn't letting fluid through. So I replumbed the fuel line without that, fired up the generator, and the generator has been running phenomenally for the last 3 or 4 hours.
Still running.
And I don't know if you can hear it, but it's on right now in the background because we're going to run this thing for a couple of days before we. So just having somebody else who kind of understood engines, it just fixed it. So now that being said, like I said, very certain I had one bad injector because my generator now runs quieter. I think I was having some detonation in one cylinder, and it was just, it runs better than it's ever had since it was new, or since we bought the boat, I should say. So that being said, generator fixed, our best day ever.
Mm-hmm. So that video in the Berry Islands was literally taken 3 weeks ago. So for the last 3 weeks, we have not had an answer for our problem. So even though you just saw the video last Friday, we've actually been dealing with it for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. Let's go back. The video, we left them with an issue. And tomorrow, that's another thing we're going to say. Today's video that should have come out today is going to come out tomorrow morning. So
Saturday at 8 a.m. when you're waking up after your Black Friday shopping blues because you spent too much money, just lay in bed, pull up your phone, and you can watch our video.
But so we went from there because we were thinking dirty fuel. We went to Nassau. We filled up with fuel, threw a filter, put it through the Baja filter, and the generator ran great for several days, which was so odd. And then because before that we were running it off a 5-gallon jerry can, and then even that wouldn't work, and then it ran off the engine, and then we got somewhere else, and it ended up having issues again, and that's what caused us to leave where we were and get to this marina so we could get somewhere where we had power. We had a big storm coming. It's all coming up in the future videos, but just we looked at our next 2 videos and we said we don't address the generator issue at all. And I had so many questions and comments. Yeah. That's why we're doing the live. So stupid. And this thing isn't even on the diagram, so I don't even know what it is.
That was the biggest thing is Chris said, I've never seen it on the diagrams. If I knew to check it down the line, because you start at the beginning and then go through a problem, we missed it.
Gallagher, and I can't name the company. His last name is Gallagher, but he does mechanics, he's a mechanic and he does generators, and he specifically works on Westerbeeks. I called him in the berries, and he's told me, first thing, you have a fuel issue. Somewhere along the line, you're not getting fuel. And he was 100% right, and I just couldn't get my own way to find it. So anyway, we're done with the generator issue. We're going to move on to something else. Thank you for all the help. Thank you. And So. And
thank you for cheering us on. Thank you for
so many positive comments. Thank you.
So many wonderful things. And then real quick, I want to say hi to a few other people as well. Who else did we have here? I'm going back up. Jeff Bolster, thank you for joining us.
Jeff from Texas?
Cindy and George. Yes, we are. It is good to see you guys. I'm not seeing you, but it's good to see you.
When are you guys getting down here?
Let's see. Back to Trawler Live. Thank you. We appreciate it. We love you guys too. Hi from Buffalo.
It's MV Loop Princess. I think you just got your boat back in the water, didn't you, brother man?
Yep. I also saw Naughty D's. Hey guys, Dave and Danielle, how are you?
You guys close on your boat yet?
How's your boat coming? What's going on with that? Let us know in the chat. Let's see who else we got. So let me know you're here.
Perfect.
Thank you again. Just everybody commenting. We got it fixed. Yes, we're super, super excited. So if there's any questions that you guys have for us, let us know as well, because we want to make sure to answer any questions. We also wanted to talk about COVID and how it's affecting us in the Bahamas currently.
It's changed. We've been here a month.
Well, it's changed everywhere. It's changed for you at home too. I mean, it's changing.
We put out a video on getting in the Bahamas in Bimini. Mm-hmm. It's all null and void now. The process we went through is completely gone. It's different. Sorry, we can't help you.
Yeah, we've had a lot of questions of what it was like when we checked in, and
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's not even the same right now. So, sorry, Naughty D's. All right, that's okay. Your boat's coming. So let's give you a quick sneak peek. We are currently in Emerald Bay Marina in Georgetown.
Yep.
And so the Exumas locked down 2.5 weeks ago. We were one of the first islands to lock back down after COVID.
Yep.
And the lockdown, what they mean by the lockdown, the rules are there's a curfew Monday through Friday from
6 p.m.
till 5 a.m. No one can leave their place of residence. And then weekends, Saturday and Sunday, no one can leave their place of residence.
Yeah, so your lockdown goes from 6 o'clock on Friday night until Monday, 5 a.m. You're not supposed to leave at the marina. We're allowed to be in the marina, but not.
Right. So
can't rent a car and go to town or anything like that.
Those are the rules. What's actually happening?
Yes.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
They're not. People aren't running around town.
No, I mean there's no parties happening. No one's like.
All the businesses are closed.
Yeah, it's not. But the weekends, people are still going to the beach.
Yep. Now, that being said, it's 6 of us. It's us, it's one other boat, it's somebody that lives in the condominiums across the street on this huge beach that normally has hundreds of people. So
So there's these rules, but then there's also common sense. And I think a lot of the locals here are very kind and understanding and just common sense people. So if they see me and my family walking around the marina, we've got our masks, we're in the marina. We're not going to hurt anybody. So,
yeah,
anytime
you go in a store, you got to have a mask on. If you're outside and you're not around anybody, you don't have to. No one's going to yell at you.
Right.
That's the difference. Here, everyone's polite about it. In the States, we would get yelled at if you didn't have a mask on. Even though you were outside social distance, people just felt the need to tell you you're doing something wrong.
Here, they let you police yourself.
Yeah, they let you police yourself. Everyone's happy to see you. They're glad you're here. I listened to 2 different addresses by the Prime Minister down here live, and they have like an hour and a half long, slow addresses. They repeat themselves 14 times. But they want tourism. They want you to come. They haven't really had any cases from tourists. Once they've started doing the testing and all that, they've never had a tourist test positive. It was when the locals, they had for a while there, they could go to the U.S., and as long as you weren't there for more than 72 hours, you could come back without a test. Well, they went, people got sick, they came back, they partied. So what they're trying to do with the lockdown is keep locals inside their own house, not out partying over the weekend. Because honestly, when you live on an island, there's not a lot to do. So they get together, they drink.
With that said, those are the rules. And then as far as checking in, it's changed every other day. I don't know. But what we've noticed is it's not at all what we expected cruising. I expected a cruising community. Now, I'm meeting wonderful people. The people I'm meeting are awesome. But I was expecting 42 boats in an anchorage, not 2. Yeah. So every anchorage we've been to, we've seen 1, maybe 2 other boats, but not what you would expect for the cruising community. And I think that those of you on a boat, you feel it too. Mm-hmm. Like it's just hard to get around.
So the mega yachts are still out here, and those are the people that fly in, cruise for the week with a, big, huge boat, and then they fly out. International travel is still permitted. They cut inter-island travel, and they did the flights as the main thing they did. And they tell you you're not supposed to inter-island travel, and you can't leave the marina on a weekend. We watched multiple boats go out and come in out in the ocean and come back. We watched people take off and not come back during the shutdown. So people are still traveling. You're still moving. Now they've got this thing they want. Someone mentioned about an inter-island permit or something. We don't know.
We don't even know what that is.
No one's ever asked us for that. We've never. Basically, the only thing you don't want to say is, hey, I just came from Nassau, because Nassau is the hot spot.
Don't say that.
Don't say that. Just show up, put your mask on, walk in. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
To answer a few questions, that's good for you guys, right? So you would think it's great. We have these private anchorages everywhere you go. I'm very social. Yeah. My kids are social. Yeah. Chris is social. We like.
Kind of.
It's great if you really knew Chris, you'd be like, he's weird. So it's great to sit on a beach privately, read your book alone now and then. But it's been 2 months now since we've been in the Bahamas. And
almost 2 months, yeah.
I'm just like, man, like I get so rejuvenated when I have a day like yesterday, Thanksgiving, hanging out with some other people. Oh, that just was so good for me and rejuvenated me to just talk with other people. So
that's the COVID 411 here. They haven't had a lot of cases. I think all of Exumas and the outer islands, the whole chain of Exumas since the beginning, I think they've had like 80 cases.
Yes, we're bored. 2
of them ended up in the hospital, and I think 1 person passed, and that was it in all of Exumas. So the hot spot is Nassau and all the outer islands. It's totally not an issue, really. People just are, they're very respectful of their government. They wear their masks, they follow the rules. It's fine. So come on, if you can get in, that's the key.
Come on to the Bahamas, come hang out with us.
If you can get in, once you're in, you can go cruise. It's fine.
So real quick, I wanted to say thank you. These are super chats that you see scrolling across the screen. So
this is totally new for me. I didn't know we could do this.
We thank you to MV Intrigue. Thank you to Crystal. Thank you to MV Living the Dream. Thank you to John Troutman. John, by the way, thank you for the books for our kids.
I think they've each read them already.
Funny story, their teacher from school was Mrs. Troutman. So when we got the books, it just said from Mr. Troutman. So they're like, why didn't my teacher send me books? And I was like, I don't think this was your teacher. Anyway, so funny story. So we have a couple other questions I wanted to answer. And thank you again for everybody making those donations on the Super Chat. We very much appreciate it.
They're all going to buy those injectors that I may or may not have needed.
Okay, so
I did one. Envy Living the Dream wanted to know about our battery, our house battery banks, and do you have an inverter? We have 3 8D batteries, which are big ones. I mean, they're probably like this. They're like 4 car batteries all in one. I believe they're hybrid batteries, what they're called, or something like that. They're like kind of deep cycle, but kind of start. It's what West Marine sells. It's what came with the boat. I believe they're about 285 amp hours each. And I have 3 of them for my house bank. And then I have just a smaller battery that's still a deep cycle for my start battery to start my 2-man engines. And then I have a separate battery for my generator, to start the generator. Now, those are all 3 separate circuits. They're not tied together in any way, shape, or form. That was part of my issue that you saw in the berries, killing all the batteries. Since I've disconnected them, everything's been fine. Engine started every time I've tried it. And that battery, it can't get drawn down now. We do have an inverter. It's an inverter charger. It's a Magnum, something or other. Okay, it came with the boat. I believe it's a 2,500 watt inverter, and it's also a charger. So when we are on shore power and we turn it off, it goes from being a charger to an inverter, and all of our stuff we plug in the walls runs off the inverter. When we turn on the generator, it turns back into a battery. I actually did buy, I don't know if we put this anywhere in the video, when we were leaving Miami.
A couple weeks ago, you would have seen in Miami, we ended up having to change the inverter the day before we went to the Bahamas. Yeah. I actually never updated you. We no longer have that inverter. We now have our original inverter again.
My new inverter was giving me the same or similar issues, but different codes. I couldn't get it figured out, and I was reading through it, troubleshooting everything I could figure out. Somewhere, one little line made a comment about battery cables. And I was like, oh. Yeah. And I went and checked all my battery cables. I had 1 ground on 1 battery that was 2 turns loose. And tying that up, everything worked fine.
Yeah.
So I put my old one back in because it's a bigger inverter, and it always works great. And it works better than the new one I bought because it wasn't really the right one. So I have a very nice, very slightly used inverter available for sale. If somebody wants it, let me know.
It was used for about 3 days, yeah. And then we put our old inverter back in, and Chris was like, yeah, it just wasn't tight on the battery. My bad. Anyway, so.
Right. Any other questions today?
Okay. Well, I also wanted to answer, we had some questions from Instagram earlier in the week. Jessica from the Florida Keys asked, what have we been doing for provisions? Because we provisioned a ton in Miami. So what our provisions look like?
We bought a lot.
A ton. We bought a ton of food in Miami.
And we're almost 2 months in now.
Yep.
And all of the staples we're still doing fine on. We've got plenty of canned goods. We've got some canned soups. We've got pastas. We've got rice.
We have rice coming out of our ears.
Yeah, it's all right. It's there just in case. The fresh fruits and veggies, this is what we knew because we have a limited freezer, limited refrigerator. And we were able to, everywhere we've stopped, we've been able to go and get provisions for the most part. Bimini was okay. Had some stuff.
They're small.
Well, and a lot of them are limited because they're not getting as much traffic, so they don't have as much of stock because the cruisers aren't there. Nassau, you get whatever you want. No problem. When we were there just overnight to fill with fuel, we went to the grocery store the next morning before we left, and it was
like a central market.
It was, I'm pretty sure it was over there because right there by Paradise Island.
Yes.
That's a tourist shopping center that we went to.
But it was nice, expensive. So to give you an idea, I love drinking LaCroix. That's my go-to drink. And
we should have bought them there. They were cheaper there than they are here.
Actually, we found a store here that was cheaper. So in Texas, you would buy like a case of 12 LaCroix for $2.99, $3.99, $4.99. Yeah. In the Florida Keys, it was a little sticker shock because it's more like $6.99. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. We get to the Bahamas, they're $13.50 a box for It is a 12-pack.
Yeah,
it's
12-pack.
A box of 12.
Yeah.
So
she's paying more than $1 a can for that water.
It was embarrassing to tell you. I did buy some boxes of LaCroix because when it's hot and you're at the beach, you just want that.
The liquor store here in this town has LaCroix for $10 a box.
Mm-hmm.
So
so we'll be buying the $10 boxes. And then other provisions in other islands, it was really nice because we could just walk to the markets.
Mm-hmm. Like at the Berries in the marina, there's one of the better stores was right there, basically at the marina, and they were just very limited. So because the mailboat at that island only came once a week or once every 10 days or something because of weather. Tomatoes were great the first day, and by the 4th, 5th day, you're like, oh, these are not good.
You find potatoes and onions everywhere because they last longer.
Yeah.
So those are the fruits and veggies. We just bought our first potatoes today. I succumbed to.
They have sweet potatoes down here, as big as my head.
They're bigger than anything I've ever seen in the States. But here at this island, the one disappointment about the grocery stores is we have to rent a car.
Yeah.
All the markets are just too far away from where we are. From
this marina. So we're almost at the north end of Great Exuma. And Georgetown is middle to south end. It's, I forget how many miles, but it's a 20-minute, 30-minute car ride. And we have also, you got to pick the day. You figure out when the mailboat goes, and you go the next morning.
Yep. And it's packed, everyone in town.
And they're loading shelves, stocking shelves as people are ripping stuff off the shelves. But they get 2 boats a week here. And it's been pretty good. If you go the day before, because we did that one time, that's what worked out, you a lot of empty shelves. Don't have this meat, don't have that. You wait a day later, everything's fully stocked.
But gone are the days where in the States, never take for granted if you say, I really want to go get an avocado or a pineapple or grapes. And you just go to the store and they're there.
Yep.
That's not the case here. You go to the store and you're like, well, I don't know what I'm going to get. Oh, okay, I guess we're eating celery for vegetables this week or whatever.
Yep. The other thing is we go to 4 different stores when we go fishing. We last about 10 days, almost 2 weeks between trips at this island. And that's just mainly some meats and some fruits and veggies and things like that. Because we have a lot of the staples. It's just that one item you need to fill in a meal, a recipe or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a really nice butcher here in the town. And you just got to tell him what you want because he keeps the good stuff in the back.
Yes, he does.
And he will cut you the best hamburgers you've ever had in your life. We bought 5 hamburgers. Gorgeous hamburgers. Just cut them as thick or as thin as you want them. And I think we paid $6 for 5 hamburgers. It was very reasonable. You can get chicken. You can get lamb chops. You can get pork chops. The other stores all have, looks like freezer burnt. How long has that been in the freezer? How many times have they lost power? Because they do lose power quite often here. Probably once or twice a week. You'll be without power for 2-3 hours. And then it comes back on whenever it comes back on. But so buy the meat from the butcher. It's fresh. Your fruits and veggies, you go to one store. This looks good and this looks good. Okay, you buy it. We'll go to the next one. Okay, well, this looks good here and this looks good, but those look like, okay, so you get the next 2 or 3 items. And then you just work your way around to the 3 or 4 different stores.
And you have to bring bags.
Yeah, nobody gives you bags.
But you also need to bring like cooler bags because you're going to be shopping. You're not just running down to Kroger and back, shopping for a couple hours in your hot car.
Yeah. But, and the Exuma market, which is, if you look at all the cruising guides, the Exuma market is, they say, the place to go. When you're a cruiser and you're at anchor down at Stocking Island, which is right there by Georgetown, yes, that's the place to go because you can dinghy in and have a dinghy dock right behind the store. They are the most expensive on the island, and they do tend to have most what you need, but their meat does not look very good. The butcher has way better meat, and like I said, everything is more expensive there. So that's actually the last stop we hit, and we fill in with whatever we can't get.
And it's the most expensive.
Yeah. Where else have we provisioned? Oh, we were on Stanley Key a week or 2 ago, and we stopped in there. Very limited. They had 2 stores.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. We bought like 6 bananas for like
$10.
$9 or $10. Yeah.
And we fed the pigs with one of them.
No, that was just the peel.
Okay.
But so we've been able to find food If you got to be flexible, okay. Coffee creamer. I like my coffee with my vanilla, full fat, full sugar creamer, right? Nope.
He's a diva.
Yeah, a little bit. I like my AC too. But went to every store for 2 weeks straight looking for it. Finally found, tucked in the back of the Exuma Market, fat-free vanilla. I was like, I don't care. It's vanilla.
He bought all of them.
I bought them too. I bought them both.
It was his best day ever because he got creamer and Tillamook cheese.
Yes.
So those are his two favorite things. And and sour cream. And it was like the best day he'd had in weeks.
Oh, you have to check your expiration dates in the Bahamas. They don't go around and pull stuff off the shelf, right?
No.
So and I didn't check the expiration on the sour cream, and I was like, oh, this is going to be horrible. I'm going to open it. It's going to be, and like, yeah, it's a month. I got a month. Great. We're good. But have many stories of people who bought something, didn't check the expiration. They popped it open, and they're like, oh, this was expired. Something silly like Gatorade or something like that. 4 years expired. Bottle of Gatorade. I'm sure it's fine, but check your expiration dates.
I want to answer a couple of these questions. Okay. Once again, thank you. If you're here, I know we've got a lot of people on the chat. If you're here, please let us know that you're here. We've got a lot of questions about having like a portable generator, like a Honda generator.
Nope. What we need to do is we need to get solar.
So my recommendation from now on for everyone, if you buy a boat, we did not understand when we bought our boat. We didn't think solar would be important. We're like, no, we got a generator, shore power.
We didn't think what happens when the generator doesn't work.
Because it's always going to work. Chris can fix anything. Well, hindsight, solar. We're going to put solar on the boat sometime. Shipping costs are a bear to get things into the Bahamas.
We'll cover that in a couple weeks. But solar would allow me to charge my batteries and run everything other than make water and run ACs, which is fine. We can survive like that. We can go buy water if we needed to. Mm-hmm. So solar is the way for us to go for backup.
Yeah.
I don't like the portable diesel or little generators for a couple reasons. One, you got to carry gasoline for those, and gasoline explodes. I carry a little bit for our dinghy, but when you run a gasoline generator, you also got to be really, really, really careful for carbon monoxide and fumes getting in. So for us, I don't have to have the generator if I had solar. The generator, only thing it does is allow me to run my water maker and run my ACs when I'm not on shore power.
Yeah.
So it's not a necessity.
Yes.
It is a little more now because we don't have the backup. What other questions we have?
What's slip rent? So what is a rent for slip? There's a difference between where we are, and that's why we're here, versus anywhere else we've seen in the Bahamas, especially in the Exumas, where we are currently. You're talking $2.50 to $3.50
a foot per night.
So we're 47 feet. Yep. So that would be $180 a night.
Yeah, upwards of $300 in some spots.
Versus we are here in this marina because if you stay after so many days, it gives you a break, and we're paying 75 cents a foot.
Yeah. So for a whole month here for us is $900. We could blow that in 3 nights at, I think Staniel Key was that much. What will also get you is the power.
Yeah.
85 cents a kilowatt here. And water,
I've been calculating that.
Water is anywhere from 40 to 60 cents depending what island you're at. We did find some reasonable marinas though. If you're going to the Berries, that marina also has a pretty good monthly rate. It was going to be about the same if you wanted to stay there. But you're in the Berries, and on that particular island, there's not a lot to do because it's basically a private island for rich people in their houses.
And it's beautiful.
The beach is beautiful, but there's very limited stuff to do there. That's an area where you might pop in for a few nights and then you'd go out on anchor.
Right.
My understanding is though that marina is great in the for cruisers when cruisers come because it is cheaper, and so you do have a cruising community. Yeah. There were 2 boats there. And
they had been stuck there.
They were foreigners quarantined, and they couldn't get back to England, and I forget where the other guy was from. But they couldn't leave the marina. They couldn't get back to their home country. Does that answer the question for slip rent?
That does answer the slip rent question. Real quick, just because I saw it pop up, what are the gas prices in the Bahamas? They're $4 to $5 a gallon for diesel.
$3.10, I think, is what they said. No, $4.10 here. We filled for $3.50 a gallon in Nassau a couple weeks ago. and it was $4.50 in the berries.
And the reason we stopped in Nassau for fuel was because it's the cheapest fuel in the Bahamas.
Yeah, it's going to be in Nassau.
You need to fill up in Nassau Browns Marina, cheapest marina.
And it was good quality. I had nothing in my filter. It was very good quality, and I've had multiple people say that's the only place they fill up because of the quality of the fuel there.
Yes. Let's see. Future plans might answer a couple of these questions. So what are our future plans? Our plans and goals and dreams have not changed. We still want to travel the entire Caribbean. We used to tell people we're going to buy a boat and travel the Caribbean for the next 2 years. Mm-hmm. Well, then COVID hit, and it's, hurricane season hit, and it's really delayed us. So as far as our future plans, I'm afraid to make future plans because every time we make plans, I don't even know what's going to happen in a week from now. So
I think it's safe to say we're going to be in the Bahamas for the next 3 or 4 or 5 months, however long we can last.
We did get a 12-month cruising permit for the Bahamas. Yep. As far as today, we can't go to Turks and Caicos, which would be geographically the next country, and then Dominican Republic.
The reason we can't go is because they require COVID tests done and results back, and then you be in the country within like 2 or 3 or 4 days. And but for us to find a test here, pay for it for 5 people, get our boat or slow boat through a weather window over there, would never make it to any of these countries in time before our COVID test expired. So the logistics, they've literally they've said you can't basically come.
And then on top of it, they require your health insurance. Yeah. In the Turks and Caicos and the Dominican Republic, they're requiring your health insurance to provide you a COVID emergency evacuation plan, which ours does not, and we aren't going to go shop around and pay for that for a family of 5 right now, when the Bahamas has so much to see. So there's plenty to do here. We're not going to rush. We're going to enjoy our time. We rushed to get south because it gets colder in the winter, and I didn't want to be in like 60 degrees. I want to be in 80 degrees. So we'll enjoy the southern Bahamas, and then spring, maybe go back up and then back. I don't know. I don't know.
We're going to be in the Bahamas for the foreseeable future. If nothing opens back up, I don't know. We'll have to play by ear. But I think all of you can attest. It's tough to make any plans more than about a week out right now. Yeah. So that's our goal is now the generator's running is we'll get out of here on the next Monday, Tuesday look really good for weather. So we're hopefully to go down to Stocking Island. Now the generator's working and hang out there for a little bit. Go see Long Island, right?
Long Island looks beautiful.
That looks really pretty. A boat that was here made it there a few days ago. They're bragging about it. So
I've had a couple questions. What cruiser's guide you mentioned? So
it doesn't matter. They're all crap right now. None of them. It doesn't mean anything.
So there's cruising guides and then chart books. So our favorite chart books for the Bahamas are the Explorer chart books. Get those. They're expensive. They're large, but they're amazing. As far as cruising guides, throw them out the window. Yeah. They're literally the paperweight.
The cruising guides tell you what to do on what island, what conch stand is good, where to go to dinner, what about activities, and all that's it's gone.
Nothing's open. Closed. Nothing's happening. There's nothing going on. I was so excited to do this and this and this, and nope. It canceled. So it's kind of like wah wah. So that's why we say just throw them out.
But the ones you had was Fedoras was one.
Fedoras is my favorite. I have it.
They're not here. I don't know. They're normally sitting right there on that counter. But.
Which, by the way, we got all of our stuff. So I've seen Timmy. I see you. Thank you for the water pump. We actually just did a video on how we got all of our stuff shipped into the Bahamas, and so we just got all of our stuff yesterday. If you're just joining, all of our mail was delivered yesterday on Thanksgiving Day. They don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so we got our packages and we installed those injectors.
Yeah. Future plans. That's it, right?
And then don't forget, let's go through and answer some more questions. Real quick, I also want to remind you, tomorrow morning, Saturday morning at 8 a.m., our video will post. And you won't see a big connection between last week's generator issues because we just go fill up with fuel in Nassau,
and then everything started working again.
It was
so
fine.
At that moment in our life,
everything was fine again.
We fixed it.
Yeah. So,
I will tell you this.
Brennan, am I saying it right? Thank you for all of your support and joining us on Facebook. I see all your posts. So thank you. We appreciate you joining us. And Ed, thank you for joining us. How far can we safely go in the Caribbean?
Well, it depends on weather.
It depends on weather, because I am a fair weather cruiser only.
There's stay tuned. There's some we had some really bad horrible experience. Some of our past videos, she complains about crossings and that. Those were nothing. Those were like a pond compared to what we dealt with coming into this marina and how we got here. Mm-hmm. So, go. I think that video comes out the first week of December. Yeah. It's traumatizing. I have some PTSD with some bad weather. Yeah. Like it's real. That being said, I think we can get to all the islands. It's just a matter of what condition do you want to go in. Mm-hmm. We have 600 gallons of diesel. We go 8 knots. We burn 4 gallons an hour running both engines. We can go 600 miles. Mm-hmm. So we can get to just about every Caribbean island, fueling up as we go. It's just weather. We've learned that the hard way. And so, yeah. Mike, whiskey. Not a beer guy.
Let's see. What are your monthly, real quick, also hi to Aranya. Hi, Aranya and Randall and Sunshine. We miss you guys too. You guys were wonderful buddy butts. We wish you would get down here. What are our monthly expenses? That is a whole other topic, I think. Yeah.
So I think that's a question we've had, and you might throw it in the comment section. Let me know. We have a website now. It is wanderingnaps.com. So go check it out. It's got all of our links and whatnot. And I was thinking about, for me, money's just a number. Some people get real emotional and don't like to talk about it. I don't care either way. It really doesn't bother me. If it's something you want to see, I'd be happy to put together a budget, because I could show you what we spent for different things each month. And it's never the same, unfortunately, because when the month we went in provisioning, we spent a ton of money. And then the next month and a half, 2 months, we spent almost nothing because I had full fuel tanks and full everything. So who's Canyon Driver?
Canyon Driver? I'm not sure. Oh, also hi to Adventure Cowboy. I saw you were here.
My cousin?
Yeah.
What's up, Clayton?
And
so, yeah, if you guys want to see like a budget or kind of an idea of what we spend, happy to share that. It's more than I think it's something you need to see on like a spreadsheet. We can lay it out for you. But let me know in the comments. Do we pick up our dinghy after each day or leave it tied to the motherboat all day and night? Depends on where we're at. Certain places, we pick it up and put it on the top because we feel safer. Here at the marina, it was up for a while. We pulled it down. It's been in the water for the last week. And that's fine with us.
Well, honestly, at this point, they can steal the dinghy. It's a piece of junk now, and you'll see why later.
It is not a piece of junk. It went through hell, and it has a little spot that I need to do a repair on.
But if I was to say we do one more than the other, we lift it up and put it on the top of our boat, because I also sleep better at night just knowing it's safe, and then I don't listen to it banging around.
Yeah, because it'll bang around sometimes. But we definitely have anchorages where we've left it down and let that trail out the back. But that is our car. If that disappears, we can't. So I would say the proper thing would be to pull it up every night. Mm-hmm. So I have felt very safe in the Bahamas.
Very safe.
I mean, all the islands we've been to, people are friendly. No issues. Kids, the kids love when they run across other kids. The few that they play with them. We've been offered, ladies stopped and gave us a ride when we were walking somewhere for free. Just, hey, I want you walking down the street with the boys, and come on, get in. She wouldn't take no for an answer. Very safe here. So yeah, very safe. What are some other questions?
How much fuel have we used? So we filled up in Key West.
And then left and went up to Miami.
And we did not fill up again until you'll see it tomorrow morning. We filled up again in Nassau, and we put in 400 gallons. So we went, we left Key West like mid-September, and we finally got to the Bahamas at mid-October, and then down to Key West, or down to Nassau 2-3 weeks after. So a month and a half.
It was almost 2 months.
Living on anchor, using our generator, and burning fuel, traveling from Key West all the way to Nassau, and use 400 gallons.
And that's only the third time we filled the boat since we bought it.
Yep.
So
that must be someone you used to work with.
Canyon driver. That's got to be. Who is Canyon driver?
And
if Mr. Canyon driver, reveal yourself. Unmask. Who is the masked singer?
Masked singer. Country rock and roll. We are from Texas, y'all. We are from Texas.
Definitely country. Because you have a bunch of kiddos, what's the plan for an uninvited visitor aboard? Again, we're from Texas.
We're from Texas.
We'll leave it at that.
And we will be safe.
Yeah.
At all times. We have cats on board. Come on now. They got claws.
Cats are going to do that.
We like fish. I'm sorry. I prefer fish. He would prefer the cheeseburger.
It depends. Good fish. I like my sushi. Real sushi, not your fake stuff.
Yeah.
And someone wanted to know, are we running twins or singles? I have 2 Ford Lehmans. They're the 185 horse. They're 6-cylinders. They're 5.95 liters. We cruise at 1,600 RPM, and that's what gets us. It's 2 gallons an hour per engine, 8 knots. That's it. What else you got?
That's all. That's all we have planned.
How long has it been?
I appreciate
45
it.
minutes? That's not bad.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you for the generator encouragement, support. Yes. We got a ton of messages about what people thought it would be, troubleshooting. Chris did troubleshoot a lot of it. So, and honestly, a lot of you would have been amazing helping troubleshooting if you were here. That's why we really appreciate having Phyllis and Craig, because someone just had to be here and see it with us.
If you know what that is, leave a comment for me somewhere.
Yes. And then, again, thank you for all your questions. If you have any more questions, find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Leave us a comment. Chris answers all the YouTube comments now. That is one of his new jobs, and he actually really enjoys it. He tries to be silly sometimes in his responses.
Don't take anything personal that I say. Just going to say that right now.
But we thank you very much. And let's do one last question to Timmy Scroggins. Am I saying it right? Scroggins. He asked about Christmas. We'll talk about Christmas, and then we're going to let you all have a great Friday evening. How do we plan on celebrating Christmas to make it special? And how can you make it special? I don't know.
It's too late now with the shipping costs and everything else. Don't ship anything. My mom made cookies, homemade cookies with some Chex Mix, little box, sent it down. Had to make up a commercial invoice to give to customs to tell them it was cookies that my mom made. And then like, well, what did you pay for shipping? I said, well, the shipping was $27. Okay, well then that'll be your value, and you're going to pay 30% plus the 17 VAT. My free cookies that Grandma sent me cost me $50 to get in this stupid. Anyway, so yeah, no shipping me anything.
As far as what we're going to do as a family to celebrate, we're going to always enjoy the day together as a family. We don't have specific plans because we don't even know where we're going to be yet, but we will make sure to watch the Santa Claus, open presents.
We have all 3 of those on DVD.
We always open presents Christmas morning. We do have a tiny little tree. It's
about 1.5 feet tall. It's adorable. As soon as Caleb, our youngest, loves to decorate. And they decorated. They got Christmas lights up. We ran Christmas lights up the front of the bow and around the sides. And
our Christmas lights aren't on right now.
They can't see them anymore.
I know you can't, but I could.
They're right there. See them? There's one set of lights.
So anyway, so we will watch Christmas movies and then probably go swimming and snorkeling because it'll be nice and warm.
Hopefully in Long Island we'll go diving or something.
Yeah. So that's our plans. Let us know in the comments on our video tomorrow. What are you going to do for Christmas? What are your plans for the holidays?
That being said, what can you do to make it special? Just, enjoy your family. Be there for them. hopefully, thank you for supporting us. We appreciate that. Like you said, check out all our different links. If you want to help support our journey, we'd love it. We appreciate it. If you have questions, if there's something we can do to benefit you informationally wise, is kind of the best thing we can give right now. We're open for ideas. So what do you like to see? What do you want to know? Tell us. We just appreciate the fact that you put yourself out there like we do, and you never know what you're going to get. And overwhelmingly, we've had support. And our followers and our subscribers are amazing, loving, caring people. And we appreciate that very much.
Very much. We thank you very, very much. So we hope you guys have a great evening.
Yeah.
And
enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey, guys.
Bye, guys.